Welcome to Winning Wall Street's Money. Help support my channel. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers pretty much as soon as possible. So then I go live streaming because YouTube policy, they won't let me go live until I have 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to all the folks out there that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you have not yet, please take this moment now with helping me. Click subscribe. Next, click the bell. And next, click all. This helps you receive a notification when I post my next videos. Plus, click the thumbs up button and every time you watch my videos. If you got value from this video, if this was helpful, then please consider sharing a small monetary donation to my channel by going below and clicking on either my Patreon or PayPal links. If you join my Patreon page, then you'll get early access to these videos 24 hours before they're posted on the YouTube and lots more. If you prefer just leaving a small tip, click on PayPal. Either way, then you get that warm sense of satisfaction years down the line knowing that you helped me become a successful YouTuber. Sunday, May 14th, 0800 a.m. New York time. Dow Jones Industrial Average is a stock index, very old school US stock index, has currently 30 companies listed on it. These 30 companies are American corporations, biggest publicly traded companies in value, as well as a very diversified index. It's not just one sector. I know the S&P 500, I shared with you several times, S&P 500 is 11 sectors in there. This is the top leadership stocks in some of those sectors. We'll go over that in a minute. Looking here at a 3-year chart, each candle is weekly. So a little history, because I'm going to school you. US stock markets, stock indexes, they get adjusted. If you're a loser, you get taken off. It could be years till you're taken off and get replaced with another company that's outperforming. Example, Dow Jones Industrial Average, 30 stocks. It's been a few years since it got adjusted. And I recall the last time it got adjusted, 3 losers came off. One of them be AT&T. One of the replacements put on there was Walgreens. So AT&T being a utility company and Walgreens being a retail company. Yep, different sectors. And you could research that and find out yourself of what companies, what sectors rotates. That being said, we'll get into that in a minute on those individual companies. Look at here, the Dow Jones 30. Okay, like I said, 3 years or so. Back here, that massive sell-off was the virus, news, concerns, recovery, trended, took out that high here. So it took nearly a year to recover for the index, not necessarily all the stocks, but for the index. And since then, the stock index made all-time new highs up to this year. And this year it's making retracement lower, selling off. Also has a gap here. See this blue horizontal line? Gapped up, it has not been filled yet. Not necessarily going to get filled, but because lots of gaps get filled. So that is being lower than the current price. So that would state that there's a potential we're going to do a deeper retracement. We can have bounces, recoveries, retracements. Yep, like these, and then new rollover, up and new rollover. But notice here, the highs are lower highs. So these bounces, retracements are not 100% retracements. The trend is down. The momentum is bearish in the index. Okay, we'll take that into the stocks momentarily. So current week, look at that, took out that swing low. Let's remove that horizontal line. Huge tail on the bottom. Buyers stepped in. A lot of them stepped in on Friday. And they're at risk holding a stock over the weekend that you can't get in and out of. So what could happen Monday? Well, the stock go gap lower Monday. And everybody that bought in here, the stock opens lower Monday, they're losers. Yep, dollar cost average on the downside is not necessarily the best thing. Again, let's add a Fibonacci on here. for the current trend, the high there, the low there. And throughout the week, we'll look if we're going to have a retracement up to these key levels. And those key levels, these different colors, to me, they identify what the potential strength is, the continuation of a trend or reverse at some point. You can check my past videos. I explain that very well. No reason to over-indate you with something that you might find boring here. If you have investment capital in here, well, you should be very concerned. Now we're going to look at the Dow 30 companies inside the index. Let's open this up. Here's the stocks in alphabetical order. And we're going to include them both. So let's first, again, keep it on weekly candles, but we're going to go to a short duration, 1 year. Again, we identified the current trend. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down, bearish. And again, understand, we made a lower low, lower high for the week. Very important to understand this for the current week, lower high, lower low. And we closed here. See this body? Because there's a red candle. That means you close on the bottom of the body. We closed below the low of last week. So when we compare these stocks on the left, the individual ones, we'll identify if they're performing better or worse. We're looking here at Apple. Same thing Apple did. Lower high, lower low, closed red below the prior week. Also went into this demand zone and closed in there. Weakness. Also tested the swing low. Back here, that low was 138.27. The low here was 138.80. So we missed it by a few pennies. But the volume is huge. A lot more selling down here. That brought us down here. And then we have that huge wick on the bottom. Again, this index and this stock is a big percentage of this index. Not surprised there's a similarity here. So if you want to have this index start performing better, sooner, faster, one way, I'm going to school you here. One way is you either get rid of the suckers inside the index, the best ones. And if you're not going to get rid of the suckers in the index, I'll tell you some more schooling. Some companies do merger acquisitions, and some companies sell off the weakest part of their company, and that makes that company short-term, long-term turn out better. Give you an example. Past several years, past administration, there was these huge defensive companies that were on the stock market, and several of them merged with each other, took out their competition, made their value a lot bigger, and they're able to maintain their momentum of growth. That's a great way of manipulation. Not a crime, not illegal. Worked out fine for those shareholders. Yep. But again, the taxpayers got screwed because less competition. And your lawmakers passed that. Well, we'll go a little bit more on that. So again, two examples here. You could take several of these companies on these Dow 30, break them down, get rid of the bad parts of them, sell them off, bring in capital, as well as delist them and put other ones on here. You got schooled. You know more than most people that are in the mainstream media talking. Next one, Alpha Mike Golf November. Look at this. Green for the week, higher high, higher low. Outstanding. Outstanding. It's performing better than the index. And look here again. The index made a new low for the year. Alpha Mike Golf November did not make a new low for the year. It closed above the prior week. So again, this is strong leadership recovering. It also went into the midpoint. See this huge red candle? Does impulse move down? Tested it, broke above it, closed above it. That's bullish. Very nice. That's leadership. And this long yellow candle, huge wick, potential target on the upside. Advanced strategies, what can you do down here? Bull put spreads, yep, down here. Earn income, monthly, weekly. Trade idea I just shared with you. Next, American Express, Alpha X-Ray Papa. What kind of sector you think that's in? Well, that's in the financial service sector, and the banks are performing lousy. Red for the week, lower high, lower low, closed below the prior week. loser. Also took out the swing low from there. Let's remove that. And also tested 150, went lower. It made a new low for the year. Yeah, big sucker. But don't worry, they're going to be spending a lot of money, these financial institutions, because there's campaigns coming up and they fund campaigns a lot on both sides. Both sides. Don't think your party's better than the other one. And they may not be necessarily the worst one, but they're not good. Bravo Alpha, Boeing, red for the week, new low for the year. Yep, closed red, lower low, lower high, took out that low and closed below it. Really bad shape. Took out that swing low. Let's remove that. Big problems. 125, somebody stepped in and bought some. It's not leadership. But I'm already hearing past few days, news medias, big mainstream ones, pumping this up. Some of them are making it sound like the worst is over and it's going to be a fast recovery. Well, those talking heads don't reply back when you ask them, are you invested in it directly? Why not? Why are you talking smack and not having your own money in it? Shameful. Caterpillar, Charlie Alpha Tango, red for the week. Lower high, lower low, closed below the prior week. Bad. It's not at the all-time low for the year yet. Nope, but it's still trending down. It's not leadership. Charlie Romeo Mike. Let's zoom in. New low for the year. Lower high, lower low. And look at that. It actually closed inside that prior week. Took out this demand zone really bad. Let's zoom out and see how far bad that is. Smacks it open. So this demand zone, let's go back even further. You know, let's go to max. There we go. Go all the way back here. That was 2019, massive resistance. Had a hard time getting above that, broke above that, rode below it, coming up, a resistance again, went above it. Look at that. Last year was all-time high. And this year broke that support demand zone and closes just below it. So understand, this is retail sector. Retail sector has been terrible this year. Very bad. Let's go to the next. Charlie, Sierra, Charlie, Oscar, Cisco, technology sector. New low for the year. Right off the bat, new low for the year. Wow. Lower high, lower low, but it closed back inside that prior range. Still, new low for the year. Don't have confidence in it. Yeah, it might have a retracement into this zone. Charlie, Victor, X-ray, Chevron. What sector do you think that one's in? Do your research. It's not retail. It's not technology. Dirty fossil fuels. Interesting. Inside candle for the week. That means indecision. Very interesting. Yep. Again, huge consolidation. Supply zone. Swing high. The momentum has not tested this midpoint yet. But it's outperforming many other stocks. And the probability is it's going to have a continuation trend higher. That does not mean it's not going to have a retracement. That's why I have these places labeled. I'm looking for potential areas on bullish trades as well as the upside. Disney, Delta, India, Sierra, new low for the year. Lower high, lower low, closed below the prior week. Look at that. Went below $100 and then closed above it. Not good. How bad is Disney? What's the problem? Let's take this back a few years. Already took out the low of last year, and it's almost at the low of the virus. Wow. Let's go on the next. Dow Chemical. Well, lower high, lower low, close inside the body of the prior week, much closer to the high. Yep. And also here, this huge wick potential retracement up there, midpoint there. And outstanding. It's strong, very strong. It's hovering above this higher trend line, or at the building consolidation up here. Yep. So there's also a demand zone down here where buyers have been stepping in. Let's label that. Good. It's a good one. Potential. I would consider looking for bull put spreads down here. Gobbs here or Goldman Sachs, another financial. Yep. New low for the year. Jeez. Lower high, lower low. Close inside the prior body. Might be a fake out. Yep. Where might it go? Several places. It might do a retracement of this wick. Hope that was a bad drawing. Somebody needs to go to art class, art school again. The struggle's real. Anyway, you got my message, right? Let's just clarify this. Potential retracement right up here. It's not me, it's the technology. Good enough. So potential retracement here, as well as this huge wick. And other things, potential new low, gapping down. Again, it's not leadership. I want to be looking for this trade. There's better ones. Home Depot, oof, new low for the year. Retail, I showed you several retail terrible. Yep, lower high, lower low, closed inside that prior candle. That's good. But again, massive distribution up here. Struggling. Hotel, Oscar November. Lower high, lower low. There's the high for the year. There's the low for the year. And now this is interesting. This consolidation, let's label that. This huge wick down there, it tested it. And again, we haven't taken out the high yet. So the momentum's still on the downside. And we're going to see if it does a deep retracement of this wick. And then you got this struggle up here. Huge. Well, swing high up there. It's not the best. Nope, still struggling. There's better ones than that. Okay, technology, IBM. Lower high, lower low. Close inside that prior body. Interesting. Okay. So the momentum, look at the trend. Lower, higher lows. That's good. Yep, potential retracement all the way up to the high. And that's IBM. Much better than some of the other technology ones. Intel, India, November, Tango Charlie. New low for the year. Big difference than IBM. Oof, new low for the year. Wow. Lower high, lower low. Close just inside the prior body. Wow. Let's open this up and see, because it did test some of these prior swing lows. Notes, okay, Intel is technology, very broad, but in technology, there's several industries. Intel, there's companies that compete with it, like I think Texas Instruments, AMD. So again, just because it's on the Dow Jones index doesn't mean it's the best stock in its industry. So you can look at the other ones, maybe they're performing better. We took out the swing low all the way from back there. Let's remove that yellow horizontal line. It's bad shape. Yep. And even further back. How far back? Let's go see. How long does this take for this company to recover? Oof. Wow. All the way from back there. That was 2018. So we tested 2018 lows. Wow. Not so good. Let's remove that one. Not good. Outstanding. Juliet November, Juliet Johnson Johnson. Okay. Made a new low and a lower high. Closed back inside that body. Or that the whole trading week. And it's in a supplies of demand zone buyers. There's rejection up here. Yep. Potential retesting up here if it has a follow through to the upside. JP Morgan, another financial. Oof. Okay, here's a gap. It still has not been filled yet. Current trend is down, lower highs, lower high, lower low, new low for the year. Really bad financials. Yep. Okay. Closed within inside the trading range of the prior week. Okay, another sector, beverages. Coca-Cola. Well, that's the industry. the beverages, but it's in a sector of forgot which sector it's in. Shame on me. So higher high, higher low, reversal, green. Yep, massive momentum. Yeah, we know there's a gap down here that's not got filled yet since last year. Higher lows. So the momentum's strong to the upside. Very good. Potential taking out that swing high, which is the high for the year. So I guess that's what's happening. The beverages and maybe the food is the leadership and the energy. Okay, let's go look at McDonald's, see the foods. Wow. There's a low for the year. There's a high for the year. Made a lower high, lower low. The trend is down. It's performing worse than Coca-Cola. No surprise. When's the last time you've eaten McDonald's? When's the last time you've been in McDonald's? Yep, not good. Very struggling. A lot of distribution here. 3M, Mike. Very diversified company. Okay, here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. Zoom in some more. Understand this huge impulse move down. I labeled the midpoint, and we have yet to close above it. We tested it, made price action above it, still closed below it. So it's hammering away and making lower highs. One would expect, excuse me, we should be breaking above this soon in the momentum upside. Well, if we break above that, we need to close above it. And here's the potential, excuse me. I apologize. So that 159, 59 cents is a potential price area in the upside. That would be looking for if it breaks and closes above. Yep. If that's what's going to happen. Mike, Romeo, Kilo. Outstanding. Higher high, higher low, just shy of the high of last year. So right now we're at the high of this year. Outstanding. Good. That's leadership. Was that pharmaceuticals? Yeah. And technology and Microsoft. So I understand these technologies and these banks are some of the worst performing ones, not to be buying them when they're at the lows, because they could go lower. Again, they're not showing leadership. So why would you buy something because it's at the low price of the year? It could go a lot lower. Bad money management if that's what you're doing. So here's the high for the year, new low for the year, lower high, lower low, close below. Look at all these swing points it took out in this 1 week. Wow, it took out the low of this year, made a new low for the year. Let's zoom out, open up. Took out that swing low from prior year. Let's remove that. And here's a prior demand zone, buyers. That's where it's at right now. Some buyers stepped in there and they feel that's what they want to buy. Okay. It's their money, unless you're invested with them. That's interesting right there, distribution. Let's label that. So they're buying something that hasn't proven itself on a chart. Again, inside information, they may know something than I do. And they might be wrong too. Okay, retail, Nike, garbage. We already saw retail really bad. Yeah, lower low, lower high, new low for the year, failure, Nike, garbage. This was shown several times last year. I showed you trade ideas, bearish ones. Look at that, we came into a key demand zone. So it was resistance there, broke above, came support, and now it came back to support. Look at that, it closed above it, very nice. All-time low for the year, not buying it. Let me tell you something else. Nike is one of the culprits as many people that own social media, individuals and businesses that pay for their numbers on their accounts, you know, subscribers or members or cult followers of something. Yeah. So this is one well-known company doing that. You can look at their competition too, that are in retail, either the clothing line or shoes, and see how they are smaller value companies, but they have actually more active users on their social media websites. Versus this one has higher numbers, unless something got changed last time I seen it, where they have higher numbers on their social media websites, but less activity from positive activity. So again, you ever heard the word bots? Yep. Just like some campaigns do too. Yep, shady. Procter Gamble. Oof. Lower high, lower low. Momentum's down. Wow. Not good. Merck's better than this. Yeah. Rejected 150. Somebody bought it there. Tango Romeo Victor. Financial. Travelers. Green for the week. Made a higher high. Made a higher high a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it did. And a higher low. Okay. But overall, we know that sector is not good. It's in a consolidation. This gray area. Supply zone sellers up there. Yep, still. It looks like distribution. Actually, let's update this. Sorry, I'm moving this so much. I just need to correct stuff. So now it's in a consolidation. A break below here might have new shorts. People that are bearish, trading short down here, potential going down to the low. Yep, so that's a trade idea. Yep, break below here. You can set your alert, or you can put a working order on to short it, break below there, and looking for potential move down here. Again, staircase pattern. Look, consolidation, huge impulse move down, consolidation. We'll see if we have one of those stop hunts, a bearish stop hunt to fake out new buyers and then roll over. We'll see how it goes. Uniform November Hotel, lower high, lower low. The trend is down, working its way down here. It's not good. Visa, another financial, lower high, lower low. And look at that. It's inside this long tail. I mentioned this before. That's why I labeled it. I said that's a potential target. And that's what it did. Great opportunity if you took it short, bearish. And you can take your profits right now because it may bounce. That's a nice big movement. If you got in around here, even at 225, 25 points. Nice. And if your options, it was good. Same stock. Take gains when you have them, because those gains could be negative soon. Victor Zulu, Verizon, telecommunications company. Remember I mentioned AT&T? So Verizon and AT&T both simultaneously were on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, but the lobbyists bamboozled somebody or some people and kicked off AT&T, kept Verizon. Remember, AT&T, Mob Bill, old school, more history than Verizon, but they replaced it. I mean, they flew off AT&T. So we'll look at that in a moment. Look, higher high, higher low, close back inside the prior week. That's not good. So this is a huge trend down. Did a retracement into this midpoint, and close below it. Multiple things are here bearish. This could go higher, but you could also look at something else. Let's look at AT&T. Oops. T. Tango. Let's make sure this is the weekly chart. Yep. And here, AT&T for the week did an inside candle, indecision. It's an consolidation. We'll notice here, okay, here was the low for the year, this year. And then it did a consolidation, breakout to the upside, consolidation, staircase pattern, higher high, and then gapped up. Now in a huge consolidation, working its way up to the high of the year. Let me show you here. Verizon, excuse me. So the prior week, Verizon made that new low of the year, where AT&T, its low was all the way back there. Big difference. Yeah. Notice AT&T's high of the year was earlier in the year, the third week of the year. And Verizon took a long time to make that high. Massive consolidation, dump. Both in the same industry, and one has more history, but one got lobbied off. So maybe you should lobby the Dow Jones Industrial Average office leadership and ask them to switch them out. Take Verizon off, put AT&T. Because if you do that, and if this continues declining Verizon, and this continues going higher than the Dow Jones Industrial Index, it would help. So let's put this back to the index. Again, just because it's in the index does not mean that's the one you need to buy. Nope, because you can make your own stock index of single stocks and maybe outperform the Dow Jones. You don't have to have 30 in it either. All right. Whiskey Bravo Alpha. Huge wick potential retest up there. But it's interesting, inside candle, not that many weak stocks, companies made inside candles on the Dow 30. So made a higher low and a lower high. It's building a wedge. See these blue lines? That's a wedge, and it's getting tighter and tighter, tighter for a coil inside. And it's going to break out one way or the other. Well, break out to the upside. So if it breaks out above the high of this inside candle next week, you can consider that bullish, and hopefully it's going to race up here. So down here, you can do bull put spreads and vice versa if it breaks below. Yeah, interesting. Last week was the low of the year. We'll see if it has a turnaround. And another retail, Walmart, lower high, lower low. Tested the midpoint of that candle and closed above it. And here's the low for the year, which is similar, interesting to what I said, McDonald's or no, Coca-Cola. McDonald's, Coca-Cola. Anyway, so this is not one of the worst retails. There's a lot of bad retail, but this is not one of the worst ones. Yep. Better than the index. So you either be invested in the stock index or some of those stocks I showed you that are better. You don't have to have a huge variety of stocks because a lot of them are bad. But again, leadership. There's a lot of sectors that are not worth investing in. Okay. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to show you here is a comparison, and it was some good insight. Many thanks for watching, and I appreciate if you share this. Thank you.